Mhm. All right. Yes. Well, congrats on the number of viewers first. That's a nice milestone, right? So yeah, my name is Keith Bussey, better known in the DeFi and NFT space as OX Various or Various. Been around for a few years, so quite a few people have seen this face before. And today we're going to talk about Monstro's Universe, which is my core company slash project. And we're going to dive into, the different offerings it has and try to bring it to your audience and a larger audience across finance. Yes, so Monstro's Universe is a DeFi project. It is something where we focus on making people passive income. And we don't do that through just one area. We really want to expand to offer something for everybody. So whether that's GameFi, whether that's a little bit more risky gambling type degen plays, or whether that's our core, our backbone and what we started with, which is external yield farming. It's an ecosystem that's going to keep growing. We're going to keep adding different parts to it and try to appeal to every type of investor out there, as opposed to limiting ourselves to just one. And then beyond that, you guys can probably see we have a pretty visual brand, pretty vibrant colors. All of this is AI art, but we really want to, be open to things in the real world, whether it's toys or stuffed animals or perhaps one day animation, right? Or perhaps one day other types of games that are not video games or Web3 games. So we really want to allow ourselves to have the most flexibility possible while offering investors safe, transparent ways they can earn money. And without, all the risks that come with most DeFi, we are, extremely, how would I say, one of our core values is that transparency, is accountability, is we are doxed. You can find us, you can talk with us on a daily basis. We love hearing community suggestions. We implement a lot of them very quickly. So we're really kind of a boots on the ground team and project, and our investors so far have seemed to love that aspect. Yeah, so when we started with yield farming, we looked at doing more high risk areas, high APR, ones that need quite a bit of active management, because there's a lot of places you can do very low yield, safe yield farming. And we felt people could do that on their own. They didn't need a team to manage it for them. So to provide them an actual value as a service, we got into the high risk game, which means we typically target trying to get 20% a month for them as a return, which, anybody who's done yield farming can tell it's pretty hard to do that consistently on a month to month basis. Especially now we're about to hit our 8th month in business, and we've been just about at that average, maybe a little bit lower. So it's been going very well. But yeah, everything is external farms, real yield. We, can never tell you what the results are going to be tomorrow. It's always up to the market and to our positions, and things like volume and the token prices. So it's something we actively manage for people. We take a small fee on whatever they get paid out, and this synergizes where we don't make money unless we're making you money. You get the bulk of it. We get a little bit for our time and effort, and that's something that catches people's eye. There's no deposit fee. There's no hidden fees, other administrative fees. It's all about, hey, this is how much we made this week. Here's your cut. Here's our cut, and we go forward like that. And I'm very happy to say that all the first investors who got in when we started in August, September, and October, they've already received their full investment back, and they're essentially just getting free money every week now for the rest of their life. That's where we want to get all investors to, right? So we have different series, we have different terms, but at the end of the day, it's all about us managing your money in these external yield farms. Now, some of them we've lost money. Some of them we sit in impermanent loss, which is unrealized loss. And part of what we do is we have to decide when to rebalance, when to just let it sit, be patient, let it come back on its own. So things like this. So at the moment, you can see these numbers need to be a little bit updated, but we actually have $1.6 million invested since August at the moment. And we've paid out about $750,000 to investors, which is a pretty awesome ROI. And then we keep introducing new things to keep it fresh. So I'm going to go to the buy NFT page. This is what's on sale currently. So Cycle E is your basic farm. Like if you want to enter the system, it's 105 USDC. $5 is like a tax that goes to the previous cycles holders. That's just a fun little bonus we do to give them a little extra. And then 100 is your, what's being put into working capital for these farms. And you get paid every Wednesday in USDC, airdrop to you. You don't have to claim anything. You don't have to worry. You can be on vacation. You'll still receive your money. And then we're selling other types. Like these are to help start funding 2 of our video games that are pretty far along from former NFT collections, that being Whelps and Heroes and Villains. We have upper tier NFTs that come with more perks, more benefits. You can see there's a table to compare them. Our wiki has a lot more information. And we actually do have people who have these. Like we have 3 people with the $100,000 NFT. We have, I think, 4 at the 50K level. And we have about 20 now at the 10K level. And they get different perks throughout the ecosystem, as opposed to saying, hey, I'll just buy, 100 of the regular farm. So we try to have a diverse series and offer different things as people, suggest things or want things. And we can, we show everything. So here you can see the progress. Like, for example, someone who owned a castle, they've already ROI'd one time. They're 36% into ROIing this time. Maybe someone who has like a farms B, they're next week they will ROI, right? So everything is clear, everything's shown your next payday. If I connect my wallet, there's a list of all the payout history, and we share our DBank profile, so you can see all the EVM positions, investments. We also have a lot of investments on Solana farms, where unfortunately we haven't found a good way to display them. Like there's no DBank for Solana that works well. When we do, that'll be up here as well. But we share the wallet addresses. Everything is very transparent. We have if you go to our wiki, you'll be able to see every single wallet we have basically laid out for you here. So you can see every wallet, track every movement, see all the positions are real, the yield is real. We post every day in our Discord, Telegram, the daily results. So yeah, as far as yield farming goes, it's all very transparent. Whereas we haven't really seen that level of transparency in other projects where they say they're doing something with your funds, right? You hope it's true, and then you see what happens. But here, we like to let people, call us out on things, and everything is very open.
Nice. Thank you so much, Keith, for sharing everything with us. So does that mean that first thing is that we just simply need to purchase the NFT first, and where is the platform that we could own it? And also yield farming that, so I also see that for example, the cost over here for farms B, right, is 100 USDC. Does that mean that we just spend 100 USDC and then put it there, and then we could just receive some returns every day?
Yeah. So essentially, the ones on the sale page are what are current. Any of the older ones you'd have to buy on the secondary marketplace. And I can tell you that quite a few of them are going for premiums because they do have extra perks. So for example, a castle costs 100 USDC. We've had many castle sales on the secondary market, and I think the cheapest they've gone for is 3 or 4 times that price. So there's people who buy it as collectors. There's people who want the perks that are associated with them. Here's some of the kingdoms. There are 3 that are out there that cost over 100,000 USDC each. And I can tell you that the first one is almost fully ROI'd his $100,000 investment. So it's something where you can see the cycle. This is how the split is. So with the kingdom, 90% is going to the holder, 10% goes to the team. Whereas with some of the other ones, like let's say our current E, this is the 105 USDC. It starts off where 80% goes to the holder, 20% goes to the team. So that's just one of the perks of having one of the larger tiers. But they also get things like we're going to have an upcoming token. They will have allocation in that. They have early, opportunities to invest in other things. We have a mobile Web2 game that's almost ready for release. The Vault Fortress Kingdom holders were allowed to participate in a private round for that. They get their own, nice perks like custom artwork and private Discord channels and roles and all those type of things as well. So it's always something where we're trying, whatever we introduce, we try to give back to the original Siege holders. And then the farms, they just go on. We had a Halloween themed one that was hard to get. So there's only 14 that exist. But that one produces revenue for people. And, degens is a whole separate topic we can get to. It's currently finished for the moment, but it was a very successful, I would call it an ROI DApp. So this was something that we didn't plan to do, but the community asked for it. They wanted us to try having one of these, earn a crazy amount per day. It does employ Ponzi-nomics. We wanted to do one that was safer and more transparent, and we did. We essentially had one that had a fallback to our farms, and that's what we call phase 2 here. So we got over $1 million invested in that through December and January. So in 2 months, we took in over $1 million. 30% of that went to our farming on people's behalf as their safety net. It also attracted a lot of new investors, over 1,000 investors. We worked with a lot of influencers. There's tons of YouTube videos out there for degens. Unfortunately, it is a Ponzi-nomic app, and it did die, quicker than we hoped. But every aspect was clear, and that led to Blobby, who's coming soon, who's this gelatinous ball of fun. And he is for the folks who, they have a phase 2 NFT. It is going to recover them weekly, but it allows them to feed it to Blobby to get an auto compounding version, which will speed up their recovery process if they didn't make money in degens. So, all this is community based. It was a community suggestion to create Lobby, was a community demand to create degens. So you can see we actually really listen to what the investors want, as opposed to telling them what we want or what we think is cool, right?
That is very interesting. Do you mind to also let us know what is the idea that to come out such a platform? Thank you.
Well, we noticed most DeFi, it looks like fintech, right? It looks very boring typically. It's all financial based. We thought it'd be a lot more fun and a way to attract attention as a new project, to do the opposite, to have branding, to have something fun, colorful monsters, right? It appeals to everybody. And like we said, if we do stuff that is offline, if we do get into other revenue streams, whether it's a toy or a coloring book or anything, we have the ability to do that with this brand. If your name was, B&B Miner, might be a little harder to create some toys around that concept. So we're also, we have a heavy background in games, and that's going to be part of our upcoming, revenue streams. Absolutely. So again, these are characters now we can insert in these games. Monstro has its own game, the mobile one I mentioned, coming very soon. So it all just kind of goes together. We thought it was a fun idea, and people seem to like it. Like, a lot of people just like the monsters. Our community is extremely organic and sociable, which is hard to find in DeFi, especially in passive income projects. Not a lot of investors typically talk, but we found in our Discord, for example, like, the chat is going all day long, and there's great topics, great ideas, and these are all real people who are invested, who just like hanging out, and that's perfect. That's what we wanted to form.
Very interesting. Yes, and just like Keith, what you mentioned, right? Other DeFi platforms, they are somewhat a plan, right? And so certainly this is a interesting way to attract attention and also make it more fun and cute. And on top of that, just like you mentioned, right, you're also building your IPs, right? That you could design other different products around the IP of Monstro universe. So, how do you mind to go from the very very beginning for our company members over here, like starting from first buying the NFT and then go to the USDC payout mechanism? Is it possible to do a live demo, or do you have any other videos that we could you could send us to that we could also watch it as well? Thank you.
Yeah, if you search on YouTube, we do have plenty of videos, but a better place to get them all at once is in our Discord. We have a video channel. So all the videos are there, all our AMAs are there. You can find whatever topic you're looking for, but I can show you here. So if you are a new person, right, and you think, oh, I'm going to try these farms out, I like the idea of getting, maybe 3 to 5% a week or whatever the return might be. You would come here to buy NFT, and the easiest one, right, to buy, the most basic, is the current cycle, which is E. So if I was connected with my wallet and had USDC in here, this is on the Binance Smart Chain, of course, you would be able to mint one. You would have the NFT, and then every week, if you want to monitor its progress, you would just watch it here. So for example, there's 490 Farm Z that are currently out there. I have 0 here because I'm not connected. But if you just bought one, you would have 1 here, and you would see your ROI go up every week. Nothing to do, nothing to claim. The money will just come to you. So it really is passive. It really is simple. There's nothing to the process, really. Now, if you want to start exploring, other tiers, that's something where a lot of them, you'll find info on our wiki, or you can just talk to us, open a ticket, say, if I wanted to invest 50,000, what are these other perks I'm going to get? Or if I want to invest, 10,000. So we have something for kind of every investor, every range. But normally, to get started, you jump in with a Farm Z, or these are limited edition ones that what they do is they give you half farming and half future revenue in the games that they represent. So when we say, whelps, I can bring you and show you there is already a playable demo. So these are not games starting from scratch.
Mhm.
They've already been built, during the past year and a half, 2 years. So you can actually download the demo. It's a very early demo. There's a lot of work still to be done. But essentially, by buying a whelps farm, 50% of your 100 USDC goes in the farms, works like Farmsy, everything is normal. The other 50% buys you 0.001% of the revenue this game will eventually make in the future, forever. So, if this game is making at some point $100,000 a day, you're getting a small fraction of that every single day. So it's a way to actually buy into the game, where we know it's a long-term target still. So we wanted to blend them with the farms 50-50. This way you get some money every week, and then you get potentially a huge return if the game does very well when it actually comes out, right? So that's kind of what we got going on with these. I'll just show you here. Yeah, that's what these limited edition ones are for. So, if anyone's interested in GameFi, likes the idea of the two different games we're building, that might be the one you prefer to buy instead of the Cycle E.
That is very nice. So how do you define your project? How do you define Monstro Universe? Is that a combination of NFTs and DeFi and GameFi together?
Yeah, so that's why we called it Universe, right? There's going to be many different things under the umbrella. So it really is a brand. It really is trying to build up an IP, a recognizable style and visual element. And people can see, whether they see the NFTs, maybe one day they see one of the games, they see merchandise, whatever it is, when we have our token, our token in our own farms, they'll be able to be like, oh, that's Monstro. Like, that's kind of the goal that we want to have.
That is very nice. And over here we have an audience asking questions. So how does the platform get money in order to give it to the people who come here and wanted to earn some money? Thank you.
So we take all the money that comes in and we put it to work on external farms. So it could be farms, it could be providing concentrated liquidity. Places people would be familiar with, like Uniswap, could be PancakeSwap, could be Trader Joe on Avalanche. We do a lot on Orca, on Solana, and it's constantly moving. That's part of our management, but that produces swap fees, right? And we get a cut of those fees. So if we choose a pair, now we choose higher risk pairs to get higher results. But to give you an easy example, let's say you're providing liquidity to Bitcoin and Ethereum, right? As that gets traded, you're going to get a part of the fees that the swap collects. That is what we call the yield. So that's what we, if we collect, okay, this week we collected $50,000 of yield from all our positions. Now we divide it up amongst the holders based on what they hold. That's how you receive your payout. So this is real yield. This is obviously sustainable. There's no, Ponzi-nomics. Like, if, let's say, an investor never put a penny again into our ecosystem, well, all our current positions are still going to be producing something. We can never guarantee the results, but it's always in the green, right? It's always something. It's always something you'll receive every week. This past week, for example, was only about 2.8%, but a couple of weeks ago, the week was 7%. So it really does vary. It really does go with the market, where we choose to put our positions. Sometimes, things go bad. We hit a pair that's doing nicely, and then it tanks 50% overnight. The volume drops. And then we have to see, are we stuck in this position? Should we give it a little time while it's producing very little? Should we cut the loss? So that's all part of the things we do. And then farming, is the same. Is we'll provide liquidity usually for a rewards token from the DEX or from the pair. And then we sell that rewards token every day when we do what we call our harvest. We sell those rewards tokens off to get USDC to be able to do the payouts in USDC.
Got it. Thank you so much. And hope these answers our audience question over here. And yeah, we got more questions inside. So far, we already got 3,500 live views. And everyone, welcome to today's live streaming over here on our Banda 7 across different social media platform. We are interviewing Keith from Monstro Universe, and we are talking about their platform over here. And friends, if you haven't tried it, feel free to go to Monster's official Twitter handle and then take a look and also join the community, because they have a Discord channel for newbies, right? For new coming members, and then teach you how to do that. There are a lot of demo videos. Okay, so you can mention that it is risk free. Why is it risk free? Because since that we know that investing, especially in Web3, has certain like uncertainties, right? For example, what if the market like goes bad? How could people still maintain that they keep getting money back? Thank you.
So obviously there is some risk still, right? The risk that the internet doesn't exist anymore, or crypto's banned in every country. There are obviously some very drastic, black swan event risks. But in general, we're spread out and diversified over a large number of places, that even if one place suddenly went down, or the market as a whole could drop a lot, what it means though is that our results will simply be lower. So to give you an example, let's say we had a terrible crash and the entire market dropped 50% today. It's very likely that for this week and maybe next week, instead of a 4 or 5% result, maybe people are only going to get a 1% result. But there's no actual loss still. It's just a slowdown of results. So this is why we kind of refer to it as no risk or very low risk, I would say, despite the fact that we're playing in very high risk pools. We are very well spread out across multiple chains, multiple dexes, multiple places. So even if one got hit, or another one got hit, or let's say, I don't know, Uniswap suddenly had an exploit and it was completely drained, billions of dollars lost, it would hurt. It would definitely hurt our results to lose the pools we have there, but we still have pools placed elsewhere. So I guess as close as you can get to not having much risk, that's kind of where we sit as far as yield farming. Yield farming is, we can be unrealized loss and sit in it forever without realizing the loss, as long as there's some yield still producing, right? So it's something where the results will vary, but you don't have to worry that, for example, if you're in a trading program, and they don't use, let's say, proper stop loss management, or something happens, or that DEX or central exchange goes down, bam, everything's gone, right? You got liquidated and now you have no money left. So I think yield farming is safer to many things like trading, and we do see it as pretty much no risk, but technically, yes, we should call it very, very low risk.
I see. Got it. Yes. Yeah. Because our company members are curious about the project, things that we don't normally see a project similar to this one, right? And over here, let me see. We have Binance user E0945 also asking, do you mind to introducing the project team to us as well? Thank you.
Yeah, so on our team, let me go to the wiki. And so OX Various is myself. You can go to LinkedIn, for example. You can see Master Brews was our former Web3 company that we actually merged into Monstro. But you can see, I'm not logged in here. But yeah, obviously you can check our LinkedIn's out. You can. I closed the book. Yes, so I'd say I'm the technical co-founder, technology. Now we have Gabo. We have to add his LinkedIn here, but he's also doxed. He runs our marketing. And then Tilting Shock is Adam. His LinkedIn's here as well. He was my co-founder of Master Brews, which we, absorbed into Monstro. And he handles business and operations. Now we do have one new team member who joined us, who is actually just a Monstro investor. He really loved what we're building so much, so he asked if he can buy in to the core team. So we have actually four co-founders now. And then we have a team of, great mods, community managers and such. And these guys are, they're 24/7 almost. They're always in there being helpful. They give us a lot of great suggestions. So shout out to those guys. I think we're up to five community mod type folks. Some of them are docs, some of them are not, but that's fine. The core team completely is, everyone knows where to find us. Two of us are in Canada, one of us is in United States. So we're not hiding our faces. We're on plenty of videos, plenty of AMAs. We've gone to live shows. We didn't go to this year's NFT New York, but for example, we've been at the past years. We've been at Chainlink shows. I've been a speaker on panels and such. So we're definitely not hiding, and anyone who wants to find us, we're pretty easy to reach. So.
Wow, that is very nice. And yeah, also since we were talking about your team members, right? Just one of our community members asked the question. Do you mind to also letting us know about your team's previous experiences since you are all docs? Thank you.
Yes. So Adam and myself, for the past 2.5 years, we ran a company. I guess you could call it a Web3 tech house. It was called Master Brews. We had a couple of NFT brands under us that did very well in the last bull cycle. One of those was Whelps, the one here you can see we've now brought over. We sold out the NFT collection. We were the first evolving NFT on chain. So that got us a lot of attention at the time. Things kind of died out because we started building a video game. Like, as you saw the quick demo I showed, that's going to be $1 million, multi-million-dollar game, a AAA title. We're using a professional game studio. So obviously that takes a long time. And as we were building it out, kind of the community fell a bit quiet. The bear market was on. But now it's part of Monstro. So we're going to bring it back with a whole Whelps Reborn kind of narrative. The other hit we had was working with a Marvel Comics legend named Mark McKenna. So we had a series called Heroes and Villains on Solana, which was the first evolving NFT on Solana. And kind of the same deal. We sold out. We took those funds. We put it towards building a game, a different style game. And then the bear market crashed. We couldn't keep crowdfunding it. So things kind of went on pause, and we're bringing it all back to life. But aside from those brands, which were our own internal in-house brands at Master Brews, we probably did work, mostly smart contract work, some marketing and community work for about 40 to 45 different clients, including Chainlink, including people who had a Netflix show, a Netflix docuseries that was in the top 10 for a while. We definitely had a wide range of clients, but we also tried to pick some smaller ones who might not have had the same budget to work with us, but they had really cool ideas. One of the first gasless staking programs on Ethereum, when gas got nuts during the last bull run, was built by us. So we really prided ourselves on innovation and working to do different things, and that gave us an awesome level of experience. We didn't do much in DeFi at all until earlier this year, when we kind of jumped over. Something just kind of fell in our laps, which was there was a project called Optimus. They lost all their investors' money. I was one of those investors. We basically tried to see how we could help them from a tech perspective to figure out who had lost what, and it was a giant mess. But at the end of the day, we actually inherited the little bit that was left of it. That is now under the Monstro umbrella, and those people, we're going to try to make them whole through the Monstro token later this year. So yeah, a lot of things rolled up now into Monstro, but our experience is there. Before that, both Adam and myself worked at a mobile gaming company in Vancouver. We helped take them public on the Toronto Stock Exchange. Before that, I've worked in pretty much every industry as a CTO for startups, everything from online dating to hosting companies to, even adult companies, iGaming companies, etc. And then Gabo for marketing, he's incredible at what he does in the DeFi space. He's everywhere. We call him the Kraken because he has so many tentacles. But in real life, he's an insurance salesman, so he knows sales, he knows how to close deals. He does very well with his insurance, and yeah, that's kind of his background and experience.
Very nice. Thank you so much, Keith, for letting us know about everything regarding to your team and their previous projects all together. And before we wrap up the session, let me check with our audience over here to see, if they have any questions that they wanted to also ask about. Okie dokie. Okay, so on which chain does your project deploy at? Thank you.
So it's on the Binance Smart Chain. We decided to go there because we felt a lot of DeFi was still there since last cycle. Now, ultimately, we want to be chain agnostic as much as possible, right? So we'll have one home base and then try to have interoperability with other chains. Make it, if you have a preference for, I don't know, let's say you prefer base chain. Great. You should still be able to invest and buy our NFTs. And we manage the money across so many different chains and places that it really doesn't need to be constricted to one chain. So it's something where we're on Binance right now. Ultimately, we're going to be on probably as many chains as hopefully we can support. So.
Got it. Okay, yeah, friends, just as previously we mentioned about, right, and some Binance, but also could, go to different places. And so since we talk about, might go to different blockchains as well, over here, we also got audience asking, does your platform supporting like cross-chain assets, or do they have to go to somewhere to swap it to the BNB chain first?
Yeah, so if you're going to buy yourself off the website, for now, you do have to buy it with USDC on BNB chain. If you're talking about any of the higher ones here, like the Vault, the Fortress, the Kingdom, we take it pretty much anywhere in anything. So, people have sent us Bitcoin, they've sent us things on Tron Network. However you want to pay for that, that's convenient for you. For that, we're here to make your life easier. But if you are buying yourself, it has to be for now USDC on the Binance Smart Chain. In the future, we'll probably have that be cross-chain where you can select and choose whatever your preference is. We'll have to integrate into our smart contracts some type of cross-chain technology, whether it's CCIP from Chainlink, whether it's something like Layer 0 or perhaps Zeta Chain. So there's definitely solutions that are a little bit still immature, but as they mature and become really robust, we'll be happy to use them.
That is great. Thank you so much. Yeah, because most of our audience over here, we are all so used to centralized platforms, right? So when talking about different chains and cross chains, etc., people got more questions. And that we are talking about the platforms. Do you mind to also letting us know more about the DGND app and the achievements in the ROI milestones? Thank you.
Yes. So the DGens app, I believe we took most of the page down because it now has season 1 has ended. But let me see if we can still see anything. Okay, we can actually still see most of it. So DGens was a community demanded ROI DApp, which employed Ponzinomics, and it allowed initially people to earn up to 2 to 6% per day. And there was, it went very well in December, started off very well. Once that compounding gets high and people start draining the liquidity of the contract, we were just going to jump to phase 2, which was the farming fallback aspect of it. But people didn't want the fun to end. So again, listening to the community, we made what we called a phase 1.5, was purely optional, but it changed the rules. It tightened everything. You could only earn 1 to 3% per day instead. There was a lot of changes for sustainability. It didn't work out as well as everyone thought it would, because I guess losing the fully extreme degen aspect of it also lost a lot of the attention and the attraction. The other thing was BNB's price, because this was all based in BNB.
Mhm.
It flew, because when we started season one, it was $300. It was almost $575, $600 during this one. So we feel like it also felt maybe too expensive for people to risk their BNB, and as they got it back over time, it could be losing value, depreciating. So there was a lot of different reasons why we think the second version didn't pan out so well, but it was something where we still honored the original promise, which was this phase two, which will now become Blobby, where you can auto compound and speed up your recovery. So yeah, we will be bringing back, I'm sure, at some point, a season two for Degens. It was really popular. People had so much fun with it. But now we learned a lot about behavior, user behavior, what we can definitely do to make it appealing, but also sustainable without making it too complicated, too many rules. That's something where we need to keep it simple. We need to perhaps introduce a little bit more of a random element to it, a little bit more of a gambling element to it. And yeah, just keep it simple, offer people those extremely high potential rewards, and then obviously just keep things transparent, make sure they know the risks. And for the people that like that type of thing, we don't find there's anything wrong in offering it to them, as long as those risks are super, super clear, right? Like there's nothing wrong with a casino offering blackjack to people, even though most people are going to lose all their money.
Got it. Yes, that totally makes sense, right? We're all grown ups and we need to yeah, be responsible for of our decisions, especially financial decisions over here. Thank you so much, Keith, for sharing everything with us. And yeah, I also want to say that when the Dijon app was like started, when like just like you mentioned, right, VNP was $300. So if people started to participate at a time, and yeah, for in order to participate to the Digital Death, and then they decide to buy BNBs, right now they actually have double the yeah, the earning as well. That is just yeah, amazing. I also have seen BNB price over here since we're on Binance, right? So yeah, keep going up, and yeah, things has really being amazing during the past a few months over here. And once again, Keith, we appreciate you spending almost an hour of time with us. Do you have any
Mhm.
other information that you'd like to share with us before we wrap up today's session? Thank you.
Yeah, we have a couple of upcoming products, so I'll just drop a little bit of tease or a little bit of info about what
Nice.
those are. So one of the things we're going to be coming up with is called golems, and it's going to be a safer version of the farms. So right now there are investors, they don't like the fact we're in these high risk pools, right? Some of the pools have meme coins in them, because that's where the volume is right now. But they don't like those facts. They'd rather be safer, make a lower rate, but have it be more stable week to week. So we're coming up with a solution for those folks. I won't have time to get into how it all works, but essentially you would buy a Golems NFT just like you could buy a Farms one, but it's more stable. So it's something where it could be 100% APR as opposed to trying to get 20% a month. But it's always going to be around that number. You know what to expect. And unlike the Farms, which are a sunk cost NFT, on the golems, because we have a way to not lose our pool value, you'll be able to actually withdraw your funds if you want. So that's going to be a big change. Hopefully that appeals to investors who think, these guys are still a little bit too risky for me, despite all our success and our numbers. This is going to target those type of investors. Another thing we have coming is called Moonbags, and Moonbags is going to be a one-time play. There'll be maybe a 15-day window to get in, but we're going to build buckets you can invest in, almost like mini ETFs, and they're going to be based around each narrative. So there could be an AI bucket, a GameFi bucket, a meme coin bucket, a blue chip bucket, etc. And you would just put your money in. We would manage selecting those coins for that portfolio. Let's say 8 to 12 coins per bucket. And the idea is that we just all hold them together for like 12 months. And when the bull run's really on, Now, it doesn't have to be 12 months. You can get out earlier. But the idea is for the long term, we hold them. We hold these moon bags and we look for, 5x, 10x, 20x, whatever it might be. And it's kind of a fun community bonding thing at the same time because we're going to be in, let's say, a bucket together. We're both hoping for the same result, right? We're not against each other. So definitely that's going to be a fun one. We don't need any minimum money to make it work, right? So even if only a few $1,000s come into a bucket, or if hundreds of thousands come into a bucket, it doesn't matter. Like it works exactly the same. So those are two of the ones that are, coming out pretty soon. I would say within the next couple of weeks. And then we got Blobby here, who's going to launch soon. So definitely have, quite a few things to check out. And I would just say if any of this, piqued your interest, there is a lot of information to digest. So joining our Discord and just asking questions, looking around, that's probably the best way to kind of understand everything.
Certainly. Thank you so much, Keith, for mentioning that with us. And friends, be sure to join the Discord server of Monstro's Universe. And so far, I see that we have over 5,800 live views over here on Binance Live. And we also got another over 500 views on Twitter's video as well. So friends, you all are here joining us today. We are having a live AMA session with Keith from Monstro Universe, and we have been covering everything about the project, right? From the team's background and their previous experience and team members, and then to the digital depths, and then to the ROI cycle of the high yield returns over here, and also about the value proposition of the NFTs over here, and step by step, right? Tutorials to teach you how to use their platform at Monstro Universe. And we once again appreciate you all for joining us today. And thank you so much, Keith, for spending time with us on a Friday afternoon over here. Thank you.
Absolutely. Friday afternoon for me too. So
Yes.
it's going to be a fun weekend as a, wrestling fan. It's WrestleMania weekend, but I will say, thank you for hosting us. Thank you to everyone who watched, who took time out of their day. And hopefully we'll see a bunch of you come over. It doesn't cost anything to come join us and be curious and see if we have something to offer you. If we don't, if you have a suggestion, we can always build it for you.
That is amazing. Yeah, certainly in Web3, we love the funding teams that listen to the community members' suggestion. Thank you.
Mhm.
And now
All right.
thank you so much. I'm going to close the backstage over here. Feel free to leave our meeting room and continue your day or take a break. And then we are going to have replays available for our audience over here who missed the previous part of the live streaming. So no worries. You always be able to watch the replays so that you could understand more about today's project, Monstro Universe, and learn more about these very interesting high yield NFT and combining with NFT and DeFi and GameFi. Very cool. Thank you, Keith.
All right. Thank you.
See you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Okie dokie, friends. Now I am going to start our replays. Yes, the replay will be available in a few minutes. Oh, yeah. And before that, I actually wanted to share my screen as well because guess what? Yes, today's session has been featured on the front page of Binance Live. So everyone, if you are, if you come to Binance, right, and then go to the live session, you are going to see us. Just click on the link, and you are going to be able to find us. And this is marvelous. And also, friends, the replays will be available across different social media platforms, including but not limited to our Binance Live, our YouTube Live, our Twitch Live, our Twitter Live. Yes, we are streaming across different platforms, and we will also add it very important essentials into a shorter format of video and then post it to our YouTube channel. On top of that, if you prefer to listen to podcasts, right, we also have our Yes, our podcast channel as well on Spotify. So don't miss it. You'll have so many different ways to listen to our Ultiverse show. And once again, listen Menglai from Ultiverse. Appreciate you all for joining us today. We are going to play our ending video to wrap up today's session. Very nice. We are back over here at our live session, and the time is around 2 p.m. in East Coast America. We are very glad to have over 6,400 live views on Binance Live, and also, well, let's see if we could reach to 600 live views on our Twitter live as well. I believe we could do that. Let's go. Okay, so let's see. We're going to get ready to say bye to friends who are watching us live across different platforms. I want to say bye to friends who are from our Twitch live. Thank you so much for supporting us during the past hour. We also wanted to say bye to friends who are on our YouTube live. Amazing, everyone. And say bye to friends who are watching us on our Twitter live as well. Yeah, and for friends who are watching us on Binance Live, I'm going to drop another batches of, guess what, crypto boxes. Yes, we have been dropping crypto boxes, just like crypto rents, right, non-stop throughout today's live session. We definitely appreciate everyone for your participation. Wow, I see that we got so many positive responses. Thank you all for being here. Yeah, a lot of positive replies, right? Positive responses. That means a lot to us, right? Just a simple thank you or a simple good project, etc., right? Those encouragement are very important to us, and that's why we also like to doing live streamings every day, right? Because we could receive interactions from everyone over the world. Nice. We also have Majid says, I hope you back soon. Yes, we certainly will. We are actually here every day, 7 days a week. So we'll certainly come back soon. And shout out to everyone who joining us today. Now we are going to do our replies. Thank you so much